I think XRP is the crypto that changes the bank's minds. I don't think Bitcoin, I don't think Ethereum have convinced banks in this way to get them hooked. Like, it just isn't that case. I think XRP is the one that can do that. So I want to kind of bring you through to my way of thinking here and see what you think. And of course, if you've got opinions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to read them, and if they're too negative, I'll go away and cry. Okay, so I want to tell a story, basically, because this is kind of, I think, the best way for me to communicate this. So I went to America in 2009 to go to college. So that's university for everyone else. And basically, I realized that Americans have drive-thrus for everything. One thing I didn't expect a drive-thru to turn up on was a bank. Right? I had to go and set up a bank account while I was there because I was going to be there for 4 years studying. So I had to set up a bank account. One of the banks that I was going to kind of go and talk to had a drive-thru bank, like a drive-thru element. I was like, how on earth can you drive through a bank? I'd never thought about it. I never thought there was any use for it. But then I used the drive-thru bank. And as I drive through, I'm thinking, I'm skeptical here. Like, I don't think anything's, how is this going to work? The teller is like way over there, and like they're looking at me as they're talking from over there, but how is this going to work? What if I need to give you some money or like... Anyway, so the lady says, how can I help you today? I'm like, well, I need to deposit some money or withdraw money. I can't remember what it was. And she goes, okay, you see the capsule right in front of you? I'm like, yeah. There's like this capsule thing, this like pill, massive pill looking thing. She said, put the cash or put a note in here or something, or like sign this document or whatever. And I hear this sound. It was like boom, like, you know, like a boom, that type of sound where the capsule is in a tube and it kind of comes out. It's like boom. All of a sudden, like, my eyes are open to this, and there's other cars in the drive-thru, and I see these capsules flowing like over me to different cars. I'm like, no way, this is like Willy Wonka chocolate factory type technology that I'm seeing here. I can't believe what I'm seeing. I get it now. And not only that, I've just now realized I don't need to go in the bank ever again. Like, I don't need to go in it. I can just drive through, put my stuff in this capsule, and it's going to take it through this tube and give it to the person that's going to do anything. And that's how we're going to communicate. I don't have to get out of my car. It's a lot quicker because I don't have to wait in a line or anything, because they can handle more cars. It was really good. It was a really, really good experience. And from that point on, I would only ever go to the bank with the drive-thru. And ever since getting back to the UK, I have missed drive-thru banks. Banks have gone now, but this isn't the point I'm making. I think XRP is the capsule in the chute and the experience of a drive-thru bank versus walking into a brick and mortar store. It's the same thing about going to the shops or just using Amazon. Like, one is going to win. Amazon will win. I don't care how nice it is to go to the shops. Amazon will win because the stuff will get there super quick. You don't have to go out to get it. You can do it in a few clicks. There's very little attention. You could even just tell Alexa to go in to order those things. You don't even have to do anything on the computer to buy those things. Like, there are upgrades in the world that happen, and they're just too compelling, and they act as a gateway to the next thing. Like Alexa, for example, is the gateway to the mass use of AI. Alexa's very rudimentary, pretty rubbish. I've been commenting on that recently. But now what AI can do has kind of, it's warmed people up to the idea of what is possible. So, you know, it became apparent to me back in 2009 that the banking system, the way the banking system was, where you had to walk into a brick and mortar store, the fact that I could not go into the store anymore opened my eyes, and I was like, maybe I don't have to go in here at all. Maybe banks won't even exist. in 15 years. And we're at the tail end of that 15 years now. And it looks very likely that we don't even need banks anymore. Like, it just opens up it's the gateway. It's the gateway to what is possible. I think that's what XRP is to the banking system. I think when banks start to use it, they test it and they conclude their testing. What they typically do after a testing period is that they will then actually use XRP in their transactions, but for a very narrow corridor of payments. So, for example, SBI Remit, they will use XRP specifically between, I think it's like Japan and the Philippines, like only between there on only specific orders. They use it in real life, in real operation at a small scale to start with, and then they grow it out. I think we're right at that stage where we're getting that very low level adoption where they're using it for specific payment channels. And I think this is, without getting too graphic, I don't like getting graphic actually, but I don't know why it's in my brain, but that's what you get on this channel, just for what's in my brain. I kind of see it if we're talking about drugs, like we're about to, the banks have kind of seen its effect on other people, and they're just now starting to take the drugs. Where we're trying to get to here is we need them to take the drugs. Think back to the last night where they had this crazy fun on drugs, and they want to do it again. This is I shouldn't have done this video, but you know what I'm saying. Like, XRP is that gateway. What comes on the other side of that? Well, what's the fascinating part of this is that we don't quite know. We don't quite know what this leads into. We know that could this lead into the complete upheaval of the current system? Like, could it completely change the system? Does it lead to a point where banks actually do go away and everyone is unbanked? Does it go into a place where, banks now control XRP? Fascinating conversations to have, certainly, but this is a gateway to something. I think XRP is uniquely positioned as the only cryptocurrency out of all of the cryptocurrencies to be that gateway to what's next. Now, if you are part of that gateway, you are early. Like, if you're part of that asset that is the gateway, you're early to everything in any industry. If you can be part of that gateway, because it ends up being the fundamental mover, it becomes the biggest mover, and the rest of the ecosystem, the rest of the world in crypto sprouts from that. And I think that's a really nice thing to think about, because Bitcoin's had the limelight for so long as the thing that everything else sprouts from. And I guess in a way it sprouted the conversation of decentralization, and XRP being that gateway into the banking system. The true gateway, not holding an asset just to hold it, using an asset. So the things we have going for XRP is that it can do transactions very quickly. That's very appealing. That's, 10 inches closer to the mouth or the nose or the vein or whatever to the bank. The partnerships that Ripple has with over 300 financial institutions in 45 different countries, the CBDC experiments going on, the presence that Ripple has is again another 10 inches closer, and the fact that XRP is actually even designed itself to be interoperable. It's supposed to be a bridge. We talked about this in the last video. We talked about bridges and safe. XRP, when you're using XRP as a bank, you're instead of having to use, they're called Nostro pre-funded accounts, where you have loads of someone else's currency in your own bank, just doing nothing but waiting for transactions that you have to do in that currency. Instead of having to hold those other currencies, you can hold your currency, any currency, basically. You could hold any crypto, you could hold anything. It transforms into, you almost buy XRP, and then on the other side, they buy that XRP and it converts it perfectly. It acts as an asset in the middle, and it means banks can do transactions with massive liquidity very easily, when previously they didn't have that liquidity, they didn't have the money to do it, because it literally didn't have the currencies. But with XRP, you don't need the currencies because you just need XRP. I think the fact that it does that, and it is a decentralized system, but you can still benefit from it as a centralized entity. It's compelling. Seems like it's going to be an amazing drug for the bank. One that's very addictive, and you can't kick. So I think we all see the sense in that. I think that's where it's going. But I want to also let you know that I have a newsletter that I'm not only posting once a week now, I'm posting 3 times a week. It's a varied content. Some of the lessons that I'm learning just kind of mentally on the mentality side, but then also lessons I've learned that you can action in crypto that will help you in your crypto journey to become more profitable and be able to weather this storm better. But then I also share some of the student successes and client successes that we've had that I think are really compelling that you could also learn from. So if you want to register for the newsletter, the link is in the description. That's it. Stay emotionless. I'll see you in the next one.